All right, well, welcome to another week. I hope that you had a great weekend. I definitely did. I actually had an opportunity to preach at my church on Sunday. I preached on God's covenant, and I did it in a very unifying kind of way, you might say, because I'm a Presbyterian, but I go to a Baptist church, and so there are some differences between how a Presbyterian would look at the covenants versus how a Baptist would look at the covenants, but there are a lot of similarities as well, and so I preached in such a way that obviously didn't compromise myself, but recognized that there are going to be some things that, you know, the elders of that church would not agree with, things like that. I thought it was pretty good, and people seem to really get a lot out of it, so praise God for that. But I did also want to mention, too, on Thursday or Friday, I can't remember which, I just posted like this innocuous gab where it was just sort of like, hey, you know, make sure that this weekend coming up that you spend some time in God's creation. You know, you're not going to regret it. And, you know, what I had in mind was just the idea that, you know, we can't just live our life in digital, you know, computers, right? Like if you go on Drudge Report, if you spend too much time just, you know, kind of absorbing all of the information that the powers that be want you to have, it's going to warp your perception of reality because it's very easy to see all the fake news and all the fake, you know, treatments and vaccines and stuff like that and the diseases and stuff. And then just to be like, well, I guess everything's fake. Well, it's like, not everything's fake, though, because, like, you know, your family's real, you're real, your creation is real, God's creation is good. Anyway, I was just encouraging people, and I said, you won't regret it. Go out in nature and enjoy God's good creation. Well, I could not have predicted what would happen the very next day. This is unbelievable. Like, it's the most unbelievable thing I've seen in nature ever. On Saturday morning, I went out fishing before the sun came up, and it was warm the day before, and it was colder that day. So I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to get some good bites here because it's, you know, sometimes the colder air, you know, kind of energizes the fish, right? So I was so excited. So I went out. It was freezing, and I didn't get a single bite, like not a single bite. So it wasn't going that well. But then I just kind of turned, because my head's kind of on a swivel whenever I'm out there at night, because it's very easy for something to sneak up on you, whatever. So, and I'm always packing, so, you know, I'm protecting myself. But anyway, I turn to the side, and I see a meteor. Now, this is not like the little line that you see sometimes shooting across the sky, like the shooting star type. I've seen a lot of those, and those are amazing in themselves. Like, don't get me wrong, I love seeing that kind of stuff. This one, though, was so close. And it looked like a rocket. It had a fire tail, and I could see it. It was moving fast, but it was moving slow enough to kind of see everything that was happening. So there was the white kind of ball, and then a fire tail, and then suddenly it exploded into like a blue color, and it lit up the sky, and then it kept going and disappeared. But it left behind the smoke tail. And it was silent, though. So it wasn't that close because I didn't hear anything, and it didn't explode in a way that I could hear it or feel it. But it was awesome. It looked like a rocket coming down, and like it took me a minute to process it. I was like, and it was just unbelievably amazing, unbelievable. Like the weekend before, I had seen I think like 3 or 4 shooting stars in that morning, the normal kind, the kind that are just kind of the line. This one was unreal. Like I couldn't even believe it. I mean, God is such a good God. What a creative creator. Creative creator, does that make sense? It does make sense, but it's kind of redundant. Anyway, but wow, like just praising God for that. What an amazing thing. Anyway, I didn't catch any fish, by the way. So anyway, I wanted to just make a few comments here. You know, I got a bit of pushback about my John Piper and my Ligon Duncan content. And, you know, it's the typical sort of pearl clutching, how dare you say this? And it's like, okay, whatever, I've seen that before. But then I saw this comment here by Owen Benjamin, Big Bear himself, and I totally agree with this. So let me just, someone was saying that free speech begets freedom. And Owen Benjamin comments, and he says, and fun. Never forget to also have fun with it. If not just for your own enjoyment and the fact that it drives our enemies nuts, also do it for the enjoyment of everyone watching. the laughter and music coming from the western side of the Berlin Wall carried over to those who lived in the east, and it gave those yet to escape a tether to life outside of communism. Man, well done. I mean, it's obvious that Big Bear is very intelligent. You just got to watch him for a few minutes. And by the way, if you watch him and you have kind of sensitive ears, like maybe you don't want to watch him, but I don't recommend him to everybody. But I listen to him occasionally, whenever I can. He's obviously very intelligent, but this is crucial, guys. Like have fun with it. And all of these reasons are good reasons to have fun with it, because you should be having fun in the Lord's creation already. So you should be having fun for yourself and your family and stuff like that. But it also drives your opponents nuts, and it actually is a tremendously powerful weapon for those enemies, because those who are seeking to subvert realities, just to turn it upside down and stuff like that, they can't take a joke, right? They hate when people are having a good time. They hate joy, they hate laughter, and it drives them nuts, and it actually drives them, I believe, into many unforced errors. Like, is it a forced error? I don't know. But the point is, like they hate it. It's a weapon. They know it works, and so they seek to undercut it every single time. I can't tell you, when my very first Big Eva detractors, and by the way, if you're new to the channel, Big Eva is essentially, all the approved evangelical leaders, the people that write books, the people that are on the conference circuit, the people that write for Gospel Coalition, all the Great Reset passers is what I'm talking about. The main criticism I got kind of early on is that I was having too much fun with my content. Like, it was serious topics, and I'm just having too much fun. It's obvious I like to fight. It's obvious I like this. And actually, I really don't like fighting. I just prefer to just, have everything be fine. And I'm looking forward to the new heavens and the new earth when every enemy is put under the feet of Christ, and we can beat our our weapons into plowshares and stuff like. I'm looking forward to that, because I actually don't like fighting. I get a little bit of anxiety with some of this stuff, but I'm willing to fight. And if I'm going to fight, if I have to fight, though, I'm going to have fun, because it's fun to be on the Lord's side. It's fun to be living in reality when everyone else has lost their minds. Like, that's fun to me. And if it's not fun to you, then I think there needs to be some kind of priority adjustment here, because the Lord is good, and he's good all the time, and he's good to his people, and he wants his people to enjoy life. So yes, I've seen this firsthand. They try to make fake rules about how you can't joke, you can't make a joke, you can't laugh, you can't be sarcastic, you can't have fun with it. And it's like, when your enemy tells you can't do something, that's all the more reason to do it. It's not sinful to laugh, guys, obviously. Christ told jokes. Christ made fun of things that were worthy of being made fun of. And the thing is, like, if we're going to follow Christ's example, we got to do both things. Like, I can be very serious, and I can also have a great time. Like when I preached the sermon yesterday about Deuteronomy 4 and God's covenant, I was preaching in a very serious way because I'm handling the Word of God, right? But obviously, I can also have a great time on my YouTube channel, which is supposed to be informative and entertaining. These guys hate that. They hate that. They have no sense of humor whatsoever. They cannot tolerate not being taken uber seriously. And see, this is the other thing about it too. Like, as a Christian, we recognize that, honestly, we can't take ourselves too seriously. We're not all that great. You know what I mean? Like, God is great. We understand that. He's way up here, and we're down here, and we're all not as smart as we think we are. We're not all as serious as we think we are, and we have a sense of humor about that. The thing is, when you imagine yourself to be like this amazing prophet, or maybe even a little God yourself, when you imagine yourself up, you can't take a joke. You have to take yourself. When someone doesn't take you seriously, when you're spouting nonsense, that burns you up on the inside. So this is a powerful weapon, guys. Have fun because it's a weapon. But here's another thing, and I have to give Big Bear credit for this one big time. When you have fun, guys, it pulls people out of that spiral of despair, guys. There's despair. All you gotta do is go to drudgereport.com and see. There's despair everywhere. But when other people see you laughing at that situation that they're despairing over, it starts to put things into perspective for them as well. Guys, this isn't hopeless. We've got the Lord on our side. The Lord is with us. Who can be against us? Fauci? Joe Biden? Well, what are they going to do? I mean, we've got the Lord on our side, right? This is serious times. No, don't get me wrong. These are serious times, and there's a lot of upheaval and a lot of craziness, all that kind of stuff. But the Lord is on our side, guys, and we can encourage each other with some humor, right? We can encourage each other with promises from God, and we can encourage each other by laughing at the obvious absurdities that are happening all the time. I saw this one woman post about how Hooters has trannies now as their waiters, and the point that she was making, which I thought was very astute, was that like, that place was immoral anyway. I mean, married men would go there to oogle little girls in skimpy clothing. And so now God has increased the perversion to the next level. So he's like, oh, you want to go look at half-naked girls? That's what you want to do? Okay, how about a guy now? He's dragging you into the depression. There's some humor there, by the way, guys. There's some humor there, even though it's a deadly serious situation. So, guys, keep laughing. Keep laughing, guys. Laughing as you fight and feast at the same time. Man, fight, laugh, feast. I love it. I love it. Anyway, so that was one thing. Now this one was also funny, also from Big Bear. So, allegedly, so Owen Benjamin has this montage of Dave Chappelle's new comedy thing where he's being fake canceled for. And Dave Chappelle allegedly stole tons of gay jokes from Owen Benjamin. And he actually shows, when he told the joke, and, Dave Chappelle pulled an Ed Litton on him. He maybe changed a word here or there, but it's the same joke. Good on you, Big Bear. And then here's his joke on top of the joke. Somebody comments to him, says, hey, it was great to see how successful your new comedy special was, but it was weird that you chose to cosplay as Dave Chappelle because, it was his comedy special. And Big Bear says, I really thought doing it in blackface would have caused more backlash. Blacklash. I just said blacklash. So there's that. So then I saw this one as well. It looks like the StopAntisemitism.org has labeled Andrew Torba Gab's Bible Bigot of the Week. He's the Bible bigot now. So not only is he anti-Semite, but he's also a Bible bigot. I mean, obviously they're just making stuff up now. But anyway, here's something from Elle. I don't really know a whole lot about Elle, but I know that she posts some pretty interesting things on Gab from time to time. She has a live stream or whatever. Anyway, this is an interesting one. I'm looking forward to watching this. This looks like it'll be interesting. Quote, it's rude to discuss religion or politics at dinner, end quote. This simple etiquette rule given to the United States by none other than Amy Vanderbilt is one of the most dangerous concepts ever. It's not rude to discuss the things that make up the fabric of your society. So she's going to go into this in tomorrow's live stream. I'm looking forward to watching that because, this is very interesting. I completely agree. By the way, God tells you to go over the law of God and stuff with your children when you're at home and when you wake up and when you go to bed. As I'm assuming at dinner as well. Like so it's actually, not only is it a stupid idea, this etiquette rule, but it's actually kind of satanic when you think about it. It's upside down. You should talk about religion at the dinner table. And by the way, politics should be an extension of your religion. Like I remember when I was talking to Roslan was saying like, what? I was telling him how like if somebody repented from being a Democrat, that would be awesome. And he was like, yo, dog, so that would be a win for you, huh? Yeah. So he was trying to get me like I was too political, not really much theological. But you see, here's the thing. I don't divorce your politics from your religion, right? Like your politics should flow from your religion. Of course it should, because it's part of your discipleship, right? Like how you behave according to the law of God should not only be personal, it should also be public. It should also be in society and who you vote for and stuff like that. So I don't divorce these two things at all. You should be political in a certain way, because you should have a certain politics because of what you believe about God and what he's like and what he's defined as justice and law and love and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know. I mean, this will be interesting. I'm very looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm just scrolling Gab here, and I just have to say, guys, I am struck by the amount of people that have interesting insights into the situation that we find ourselves in right now. And what I am struck by is, there's a lot of people, in my opinion, in Gab that are over they're just too doomsday, too serious, too crazy about like how we're all gonna die and stuff like that. And look, I was telling somebody on the phone the other day, like, you know, the idea that they could start rounding up Christians and throwing them into internment camps, it's more likely today than it was a month ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. But I don't really think that's going to happen. But the bottom line is, though, even if it did, we still have to have our joy, right? We still have to have fun with it. And these people that I'm kind of sharing their posts, you know, Woke Preacher Clips, Owen Benjamin, stuff like that. These people, one of the things that strikes me about they're all having a great time. They're having a great time, and they're exposing things, and they're very intelligent people. I'm very glad to have a lot of examples of people that are having a great time as they're fighting a very serious battle. Now, am I saying all these people are people that I would take theology from? Clearly not. Obviously not. But people are waking up across all barriers here, and I'm so grateful for that, guys. I'm so grateful for it. And I got to say that it's encouraging to me to hear how many of you have been influenced and impacted by my work. I think that a lot of you have highlighted the fact that I'm having a good time and I'm able to laugh at some of this stuff as something that's been encouraging over the years and all of that. And I'm grateful for that, guys. Another big thing that I'm grateful for is how many of you have commented and said, you know, it's great to see somebody that's just okay believing what the Bible says and doesn't have to, you know, turn it all gay, like Gospel Coalition here, for example. This person says that straight men should consider singleness out of solidarity for celibate homosexuals. Like, you should not have kids, not have a wife and not have kids so that you can show your solidarity with gays. That's the stupidest, most satanic, worst idea I've ever heard in my entire life. But of course, Gospel Coalition people promote that kind of stuff because it is subversive, and it's just like, you know, like, we don't want to. The gospel whispers, the law whispers about sexual sin. They want to do whatever they can to try to be as soft as possible on the zeitgeist. And I think that a lot of people find it refreshing when anyone, not just me, but just when anybody says, no, that's actually not true. The Bible doesn't whisper about homosexuality. It clearly doesn't. Guys, it's just encouraging to me to see all of that. And I don't know really what the point of this video is, but I'm just so grateful right now, guys. I just want to provide that take here. It's a positive message because I'm a very positive guy. I know a lot of people like to think I'm not, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess they're just not watching those videos. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. God bless.